Walked towards her boss' office. It's her second week being his secretary. You just got the job there. The CEO is rude, but somehow you need to cope up with the things. You enter inside the office as she heard yes. Sir, your file. Okay, my schedule. Meeting at 6 with Mr. Kawan. You can go now. Yun felt he didn't speak much, does his work, and okay, whatever. Not as you care, you just want to work and make money. I look at the clock and it's almost 6 p.m. I wore my cap and left the office just 5 minutes, and the place is 10 minutes away. Should have taken care of it first. He sat in the car and drove as fast as to reach the place as his phone rang, and it was his dad. Son, where are you? Dad, I'm going for a meeting with Mr. Kawan. Okay, after the meeting, can you? The loud horn caught Jungkook off guard. He'd take a turn, but his car crashed with the truck. Jungkook, Cook, are you listening, son? What happened? Hell, and he lost his consciousness. Doctor, how is my son? He's out of danger, but he got paralyzed. No, not my son. Mr. June, tears formed in his eyes as he is the only son he had. Her wife died giving birth to his son, and he raised Jungkook alone. Jungkook shifted back to his room after a few days, and he was quiet. He didn't speak for the whole time. Someone knocked on his door and he hummed, Son, Dad, come. He sat and smiled a little. He loved his father. He only had his dad. He raised him alone with no one, so he loved his dad. How are you doing, son? What do you think? He asked softly, looking down at his lap. I know it's difficult for you, son. That's why I decided something for you. What decision, Dad? I want you to marry. Dad, I can't. Son, you need someone to take care of you. You can hire a maid for me. Wife is better, you need love and care. Wife is better, you need love and care. I don't know anyone, Dad. Please. Listen to me, son, this one last time. Dad, son, please. Jungkook sighed and nodded his head. He can't even do anything properly. Do you have anyone you like? No, Dad, you know me. I'll choose the best for you. He patted his son back and left from there. Yun was watching a movie when the bell rang, and she moved towards the door and opened it. Mr. June? Yun's eyes widened and she bowed to him. Mr. June kept a serious face. Mr. Kang home? Yes, sir. She said and stood beside him to let Mr. June enter inside. June, how come you visited me today? Mr. June and Mr. Kang were friends, so they both know each other for a quite long time, and because of that, Yun got a job in the company too. He said and smiled as the boss sat down on the sofa. Yun walked to the kitchen and she can't believe her boss Dad is here. I'm here for a favor. What is it? Mr. June told him how his son got into an accident, how he wanted Mr. Kang's daughter to marry his son. June, what are you talking about? If he is disabled, okay, but my daughter, why did my daughter give sacrifice? Listen, Kang, I want my son happiness. What about my daughter? She has a dream too. I can't marry her like this. I'm asking very nicely, Kang. You better listen to me. Are you threatening me, June? If you think like that, then yes. I won't. She is my only daughter. You can get out from here. Don't test my patience, Kang. Then what will you do, huh? You want to see? Okay then. He gave the signal to his guard and Kang's eyes widened. He heard his daughter yelling, Leave me. Leave my daughter, June. She struggled in his hold, but their grip tightens. Do something wrong and your father will pay. Yin froze in her place and her dad shook his head, saying he is doing wrong. Be ready, tomorrow is your wedding. When they left, she broke down and hugged her dad. Tomorrow they took Yun and arranged everything, and they got married in few people. Yun entered the house, her face was cold, she started from crying. Already took Jungkook to his room. Yun looked around for her room when Mr. Jones stopped her. Yun, take care of my son. You look at him with a cold expression and how much sweetly he is speaking now, like he didn't use force yesterday. Should I treat your son like you treated my dad yesterday? Yun said with a straight face, and Mr. June's expression changed from a soft one to an angry one. Watch your tone and acts, young lady. Your dad's life is in your hand. Yun is stiff in her place. Her dad is everything, and she gulped and turned around. She entered the room and sat down on the sofa, still wearing her gown. Tears start forming in her eyes. She can't believe she is married to her boss. She clutched her hair tightly in her hands and cried silently. Are you okay? Yun got startled by his sudden voice and wiped her tears. Yes. Do you need anything? You can use the bathroom now. Okay. Moved towards her bathroom and changed her clothes and came back after some time. Jungkook was near his bed trying to sit on the bed. Yun ran towards him and held him. Wait. She helped him sitting on the bed and set his blanket. Jungkook looked at her. If you need anything, you can call me. They told me you had to be careful and don't pressure your legs. Jungkook listened to her silently as Yun spoke. She didn't know he was staring at her. Why were you crying? He asked out of the blue and Yun looked at him and then looked away. Nothing, just missing my dad. Didn't you meet him just few hours ago? So? You can meet him tomorrow if you want. You look at him shocked. What? Why are you so shocked about it? Jungkook looked at her confused and if some prison girl just heard the good news, didn't know what his dad did behind his back. Nothing. She didn't say anything. What if they harm her father? He didn't lay down. He looked at Yun. She was standing in the middle of the room, clearly thinking something. You can lay here on the bed if you are comfortable. Yun hesitantly nodded her and came towards the bed and lay down. Yun woke up early and Jungkook was already awake, working on his laptop. Yun's eyes widened. Oh god, she forgot she is his secretary too. Yun sat on the bed rubbing her eyes. Good morning. Good morning. Yun walked towards the bathroom to freshen herself and after some time she came back. Yun was hesitating to ask but was startled when he spoke. You want to ask something? Yeah, actually about work. How will you manage the office? Until I get the courage to go out again. Are you not ready to go out again? Not yet, but I eventually will. Do you need help with anything? Not now. Yun nodded and walked towards the kitchen, closing the door behind her. Yun made breakfast. She knew what she is there for. She need to take care of him. She thought he is rude, but last night her whole opinion changed about him. It's not bad though, she is still afraid of him. Yun placed the thing in the tray and walked towards the room and opened it. Jungkook didn't notice her presence. He was busy working on his laptop. Yun placed the tray on the bed and looked at him. Breakfast? Jungkook finally looked up then at the tray. You didn't have to bring it here. If you don't like it, I will bring... No, I mean, you don't have to do all these things for me. You are not my maid. But wives do these things too, right? Taking care of their husbands? Jungkook stared at her with jaw open. Is she always that sweet? They really don't have a proper conversation in office, just officer. Thank you. Jungkook put his laptop aside and he started eating his breakfast. You stand there for a moment. Why are you not eating? I'm not hungry. Come on, eat with me. Sit here. No, it's for you, please. Yun sighed and sat beside him. They did their breakfast together. Yun did her daily routine and made breakfast for him. What are you thinking? I have meeting today. She knew he never misses his meeting at all, so she walked towards his closet and opened it. You want to wear this or this? Yun, he tried to say something but Yun was busy selecting his suit. This would suit you better. I'm not going anywhere. Yun looked at him and stopped. She put the clothes back. Why? You never miss into your meeting. It was when I was perfect and go on my own. But now? Yun eyes softened. She walked towards him and sat beside him. Jungkook, your accident was not your fault. You can't lock yourself here forever. I heard you never came out of your room after the accident. Why? I don't want to go. I feel insecure. You don't have to. You're perfect, Jungkook. You are still the same person. Jungkook's stomach did some flip and he knew that this girl is affecting him in a good way. Her comforting words, her care and love. And I contacted the doctor and set your appointment. You didn't have to do so much for me. I did whatever I could for you. Yun put her hand on his and he smiled. I have a request. What is it? Can you attend the meeting instead of me? What? Please, Yun, I promise I will try to come back to normal, but now I need your help. But I never attended any meeting as honor. You can do it. I saw how hardworking you are. I know you will manage. You make me proud. But Jungkook, I was your secretary. How will I manage? Please, I trust you. And bite her lips, her mind was debating. This is a big task. Attending the meeting to confirm deals and everything. She was secretary, but this is all new level things. After a few days later, Yun was taking care of Jungkook very well and his heart started beating faster. Whenever he is around Yun, he always wanted that care, that love he loved around Yun. He don't know Yun felt the same for him. Yun was making dinner and she was humming to a song when the bell rang. Yun walked towards the door but her expression changed when she looked at the person. She didn't say anything and moved inside. Is Jungkook is in his room? Yes. I will. Dad? Jungkook came in his wheelchair and Mr. Jun smiled hugging his son. How are you feeling? Better than before? Yun walked towards the kitchen to get something for them. Jungkook, when will you start going back to the office? I don't know, Dad. Yun is attending meeting instead of you. Jungkook nodded. He felt bad since she is managing everything, but what can he do? He's not ready to go outside. She proved herself as a good wife. Jungkook smiled as he remembered how you took care of him and don't let him do anything. Dad, I want to talk about some project. Sure, tell me. I wrote some points I need to discuss. I will bring the file. Wait, I will bring it. You don't have to. Dad, don't make me feel completely useless. I can do my work at least. Mr. June nodded and smiled as Jungkook moved his wheelchair and moved back to his room. Yun came back from the kitchen and had 2 glasses of juice. Without glancing at Mr. June, but he stopped her before she moves out of there. Yun finally looked at him but didn't say anything. Thanks for taking care of my son. Yun eyes softened when she saw tear in his eyes, but she didn't say anything. I'm glad I chose you as his wife. Choose? You dragged me here forcefully by threatening me of my father's life. She didn't want to come out as rude, but whenever she thought about how he put the gun on her father's head, she can't forget that. I know I did wrong, but I want my son's happiness. You didn't even think about others. How you point your gun at your friend just because you wanted your son's happiness? She knows it's not Jungkook's fault. He deserved everything. Every love in the world. Spending almost a month with him, she realized how sweet it was. But the anger she had for Mr. June is still there. It doesn't mean she doesn't like Jungkook. I'm sorry for what I did with you. Yoon sighed. It's almost a month, and she is not the one holding grudges. Until it was her loved ones, she can forgive anything that happened to her, but to her loved ones? You don't have to say sorry to me. Say it to my father. He was deeply hurt by her behavior. He really believed you are his only friend. I will do that too. I just need to apologize to you. It's okay, Yoon said and then moved to the kitchen. He apologized. It was enough for her. Yoon baked a cake. She really loves baking and she wanted Jungkook to try it. So after dinner, she made cupcakes. Yoon took the cupcake and entered the room, but stopped when he saw Jungkook was struggling to take the jug. She hurriedly put the tray on the bed and moved beside him. You could have called me, Yoon said and she poured the water into the glass. She gave it to Jungkook, who looked back at his laptop. I don't need it now. Huh? Yoon said he was struggling a few seconds ago. I don't need your help, Yoon. I can do my work. Yoon noticed a change in his behavior and sat beside him. What happened to you? Nothing. Yoon bit her lips thinking maybe he is stressed about work and didn't say anything. Look, I made cupcake for you. Yoon, I'm working. Can you please leave me alone? Yoon looked down slightly hurt. She made it with so much happiness and love. Just a bite? She asked again and Jungkook looked directly at her. She understood that he was not in the mood. So she put the cupcakes in the fridge and come back and lay down after brushing her teeth. If you need anything, you just wake me up. He didn't respond and continued doing his work. After Yoon slept, Jungkook put his laptop aside and lay down. He looked at her face. She is looking so soft. He never noticed her closely, not her features when she was his secretary. But he knows one thing, she is different from her other secretaries in the past. A tear slipped from his eyes as he remembered her and his father's conversation. Juice, you dragged me here forcefully by threatening me of my father's life. You didn't even think about others, how you point your gun at your friend just because you wanted your son's happiness. She is not happy with what she is doing because her father's life was at stake, and here I fall in love with her. She is not even happy, and how could she be? Who would be happy with a paralyzed man who just do his trouble? He just wanted love, pure love, not out of force. He doesn't want it if the love is forced. He was afraid when is all okay, and now he's more afraid no one will love him. Jungkook woke up, but there was no one beside him. Yoon probably making breakfast. He got ready and came out of his room. Yoon looked at him and walked beside, ready to take him to the table, but he stopped her. I will do it myself. Yoon nodded, not knowing why he is behaving like this. Here is your breakfast. She smiled and served him breakfast, and Jungkook quietly took it. Yoon finally takes a look at his appearance and frowns. Is someone coming home? Yoon said because she knows Jungkook doesn't like to go outside. Jungkook looked at her. I'm going to office. Yoon eyes widened but then smiled. Really? Are you finally ready? I think because I don't want to be a burden on others. Yoon furrowed her eyebrows and spoke. Jungkook, you are not a burden on anyone. Jungkook nodded and he was not in the mood. Let me help you. She said he was about to move his chair. No need, I can do it myself. Jungkook became quiet again. He doesn't want to talk to anyone, not even Yoon. He goes to the office even if he doesn't like how people stare at him with sympathy and gave him a pity look. He hates it. Yoon was so confused about his behavior, like he was the same person when she worked with him. No words were exchanged. She wanted to talk to him many times, but he didn't answer. Jungkook, why are you behaving like this? Yoon, you don't have to pretend anymore. What? You don't have to take care of me. I'm sorry that you dragged here and become my wife forcefully, but I don't want you to babysit me anymore. Jungkook gulped how much these words affect him, but he came to indecision. He don't want forced love. Even he loves someone and they don't love him back, he's ready to let them go, even if it hurts him. Jungkook, what are you? I know you have dream to fulfill and I don't want to destroy your life by sticking with me and taking care of me. So I came to a decision. You can go back to your house. You're free to live. My dad won't do anything to you and your dad because it's my decision. And I stir up all his words jabbing in her heart like a knife, and Jungkook's heart clenched as he spoke all those words. In reality, he don't want her to go. He wanted one thing in her life, and was love. But maybe it was not in his fate. He wants her to stay so he can hold her and spend the rest of his life with her. He falls for her in a short amount of time. Jungkook, please, why are you saying all these things? Because I know you were dragged. He was forcing the words out she used in front of his father. Finally, a tear slipped from his eyes and Yun walked towards him and sat down in front of him on his level. She lightly held his chin and wiped his tear. I know I was dragged, Jungkook, but first I thought you would be like your father, but on the first night you changed the whole point of view and I never saw you as a burden. My husband, and that's why I take care of you. I love to take care of you, to feed you with my hands, but why would you stay with someone like me? Because I love you, Jungkook. Jungkook looked at her and his breath hissed. He don't know what made him like this. He was never soft around people. But she is something, and he loved her. Are you sure it's not pity? No, it's not. I'm sure about my feelings. I'm sorry if my words hurt you, if my action hurts you, but I never wanted to. I was just angry at your father, but not at you. And I'm sorry about his actions. You don't have to. He already apologized, and you know I don't regret his decision. Even though I married you forcefully, I'm glad it was you because I will never get a better man than you. Jungkook feels butterfly and he smiled. He tried hard not to, but this girl know how to flirt her. Someone with her words. I love you, he said, and Yun hugged him tightly. Jungkook, doctor is here, Yun said as she entered in his room. Treatment is currently going on its time taking care, but there is hope he will be cured and will perfectly fine. Yun has hope, but Jungkook don't. Jungkook nodded and let the doctor do whatever he wants, and Yun was there for him to hold his hand. He was shaking when the syringe entered his leg. He was shaking badly, and Yun was comforting him. Tears slipped from his eyes. It was painful, but Yun was saying sweet words in his ear, and he calmed him down. When the doctor left, Jungkook closed his eyes. Yun was about to move from there thinking he needs to sleep, but he grabbed her hand. Stay please. Yun smiled. She leaned down and kissed his forehead. Jungkook smiled and Yun lay down beside him, covering both of them with a blanket and hugging him. Yun was in the kitchen when she heard laughing and she followed her eyebrows. As he came out and looked at them, she shook her head. Jungkook was tickling his 3 years old son and they were both laughing loud. Dad! Jungkook, stop. Let my child breathe. No, he's a small thief. He always drinks my banana milk. I won't drink it again, Dad. You say it every time. Yun shook her head. She has 2 kids. Jungkook, yes. He looked at her. Yobin took the opportunity and started running. Hey, you little... Jungkook, stop. Jungkook started chasing him in the whole house and Yun smiled. Knowingly, she remembered his process of getting healed was too difficult, but he didn't give up and now he's completely healed. He can walk, run, even just like before. Walked back into the kitchen and put the cookies and cupcakes she made on the table. Okay, I'm going to eat my precious cookies alone because nobody wants it, he said loudly, and next moment she saw Jungkook carries his son on his shoulder and they both ran towards him and stood in front of her. Yun hides the players behind her. No cookies for bad boys. Sorry, we won't do it again, they said in union, making doe eyes, and Yun smiled, placed the cookie back. Here you go. They both high-fived and sat down. They started eating. Yun picked up the cupcake and extended it towards Yobin to take a bite. Open your mouth, Yun said to Yobin, but before he took a bite, Jungkook already opened his mouth and took the large bite. Dad! Jungkook laughed and stuck his tongue out. He finally got his revenge. His little son drank his banana milk. Yun smiled. They both are blessing in her life.